So at the Pittsburgh Expo, you might have seen in a previous video, I got a flat rock scorpion, Heterogenes troglodytes, and I put it in a temporary enclosure with some cork bark because I didn't have any stones that I could use. Now these are called flat rock scorpions, so obviously they are pretty flat in profile and kind of wedge themselves in between rocks in the wild. So I wanted to make a better enclosure for it, and I'm kind of excited about this one for some reason. Maybe because I've made, a dozen or so tarantula enclosures, and they're all pretty similar, just substrate and a hide. But this one is a little bit more creative, and I'm going to make a couple of different layers, and it should be fun. So my brother, big shout out to Kevin, was jogging and found a whole bunch of rocks for me in a stream. He probably looked like a real weirdo stopping in the middle of a jog to collect rocks in a stream and put them in a bag, but big shout out to him. I appreciate him doing that, and that's kind of what I was waiting on in order to make this enclosure. I wanted to have enough rocks that I could make a nice hide for the animal here. So that's what I'm going to do. I have one nice big rock and a couple little ones, and the plan here is to pack the crevices with substrate, with cocoa fiber, maybe a little bit of sand, so that these three rocks pretty much stay in place and don't move. And then the plan is to have a rock in the corner down here, and then this nice flat rock will be glued up to that one in the corner. So these two will be glued together, and then it will just rest on top of this one. That way, if I need to check on the animal or pull its hide out, I can pull this out, and this will come with it. They'll be glued together like so, and I can pull that out if I need to, and I can put it back into place, and it'll rest in there perfectly. That will give the scorpion a really nice place to hide underneath here. And he'll have plenty of rock space to crawl around on. Might put another one here also and glue it in place so that there is another spot underneath here that it can hide. So it can hide under the first level, it can crawl around on the top level, it has a nice hide under here, it can hang out on top, and then we'll have a little bit of regular substrate with a water dish in this area. So that's the basic idea. I'm excited to do it, so let's go for it. Again, I'm really trying to get that substrate down into the cracks so that these rocks don't move and so that she doesn't wedge herself down inside of there. Okay, so here's kind of what I did. Exactly what I said I was going to do. I put the rocks that are going to stay in the places that they are in there and pretty much packed it with substrate down into the crevices, and I really took the time to push it and jam it down in there, and I packed it down a lot firmer and a lot harder than I would a typical tarantula enclosure because I don't think that this species is going to burrow, so I wanted to make sure it was nice and compact and hard. So then the next step is going to be to figure out where this is going to glue. It's going to be right there, so I'm going to put a dollop of glue in here and then put this up against it. And then I'll glue the heck out of it, maybe add some sand on top of the warm glue so that it is disguised a little bit so it doesn't look like hot glue. And then that way I can lift these two pieces out if I need to. And then again, I might add another hide down in this area also, so it'll have like one level on the ground here to hide in, and then a couple levels it can climb up on top. So that is going to be next here. I'll just do that quickly. Let's figure out where this needs to be. Hold it for a few seconds, let that dry a bit. It seems like it's holding. I wonder if I can maybe get a little bit of sand onto the dry parts then. And we will set that here and let that dry a little bit before we start messing with it. Okay, now I left it alone, made sure it was nice and dry. So there you go, that is pretty much going to be her hide. And I'm going to just be able to set it in there then. And she'll have a really cool little place to hide out in there. And like I said, I might do another one too. Maybe I'll do something like that. Another hide down here for her. Has a nice Little rock crevice to hide under, and then also down here on this level she can hide. There you go. We're gonna call that good to go for now. Now the fun part is getting her in it. So how are we gonna do this without getting pinched or stung is the question. And the answer is, I have no idea. She doesn't seem too bad, but she is a little bit defensive. So I'm thinking she may just stay right there on that cork bark, and I can just pick up the entire piece of cork bark, move it into here, and then gently prod her off. So that's going to be the game plan. Sounds pretty simple, right? It should be. Let's try it. So far, so good. So far, no sting. It's a little bit brave here. And I'm watching the camera instead of my finger, which is really stupid. So if this thing gets me, it's your fault, YouTube. But there she is, Hatogenes troglodytes, the flat rock scorpion, and she should get a little bit bigger than this. There was a gravid female at the expo, which I did not take, which was a lot bigger and a lot chunkier than this. So I know that she'll get, quite a bit bigger. But there she is. Excuse me, I'm going to sweep around you. Pardon me, sorry. Okay, there you go, and right into her hide. I'm hoping that she will really dig that area there. It's a little bit closer to what she would be doing in the wild, hiding between rocks. That's why their body's so flat. So hopefully she'll like this permanent enclosure a lot better. So there you go, guys. Hatogenes troglodytes, the African flat rock scorpion. New enclosure, and hopefully she'll be a little bit happier in there. Now, I don't know how well this is going to show up on video, but I'm sure you all know this, but I still think it's cool. I have a UV flashlight, and I'm going to shine it under the rock and see where she is. Glow in the dark. How crazy is that? Amazing. And again, I'm not sure if the camera will pick that up well or not, but she glows a greenish blue under UV light. Very, very cool.